Okay, go ahead.
Why did Sarah just do that?
I don't know.
Oh! Hi. Thank you for coming to our PCOE board meeting. I will open the meeting with, I will call to order, sorry, our regular board meeting. I apologize, was not prepared. And so can we please stand for the flag salute? Which is, by the way, sorry, which is on our back wall. Or right here. Or there, so.
Or there, yeah.
All right, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Johnson. Klein.
Here.
Harrison. Here. Krin.
Here.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the PCOE agenda?
I'll move to approve.
I second.
Any comment? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So passes. And this is the time for public comment. No action or discussion shall be undertaken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda except that members of the board or the except I think that's PCOE. I grabbed the wrong one, my apologies.
You're on the other one.
I grabbed the wrong one. No, I didn't. Okay, so it says
just says
PUSD,
that,
but the
yeah.
PCOE, I apologize, staff may briefly respond to statements made or questions posed. There's a three-minute time limit for each person who addresses the governing board during the public input. Public comments may be honored by participants attending in person. And so is there any public comment for the PCOE meeting? All right, with no public comment, we will move on. Schedule for the 2026 board meetings. Who's taking that on? Is that me? Or I'm just announcing that there is?
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
seeking approval for the calendar.
It's gonna stay at 4:30?
Okay.
And then we're staying on the second Wednesday of each month, except for July, November, and December. Okay,
So I'll move to approve.
do I hear a
I
second? Thank you. Any comment? Wonderful. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, and so moved, or approved. Okay, and then there for information only is the PCOE service contracts and personnel items. Do we have any comment on that? All right, moving on. Oh, I'm sorry, and the check register, my apologies.
I just had a quick question on the check register. There's one huge item that makes up like 3/4 of the checks that were written. It's the charter school payment. What period is that for? Do you know? It's 900.
It's a $900,000 payment to the charter school. Is that for an entire year?
It just says operating
possibly?
cash.
I can get an answer to you.
Okay, I should have emailed.
It's okay.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, moving on to consent items. There are the minutes for 9:10, 9:17, and 10:15. Do we have
We don't have a quorum to do.
all of them? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So unfortunately, we will be tabling item 10 with the consent items. Is there any future items that we need to address or put on? Wonderful. And so at 4:35, I
I'll move to
thank you
adjourn.
to adjourn. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And so adjourned at 4:35.
see how good you look, Steph?
Go ahead.
I know. This is worse though. Not a good angle.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the PUSD regular board meeting. I'm Rich Duvarney, the county appointed administrator, and this is Andrea White, Lewis County Superintendent of Schools. And so we'll begin with the flag salute, and flag's right here. Please join me for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
County Administrator Richard Duvarney,
So we have the agenda
PCOE Superintendent and
here.
Here.
Here. In approval of the PUSD agenda, this is an action item. Any comments on the agenda? Okay, as county administrator, I will approve. Next, we have our educational partners update, and Andrea White.
Our partners update this month is just to update you on the most recent work that we've been doing as part of our efforts to strengthen our partnership throughout the whole district. As our district faces a budget shortfall, we want to ensure that any decisions that are made, that they address the situation, reflect the values and priorities of our staff, our families, and our community. We sent out a survey to staff, families, and community members to help guide these important discussions. We are also holding community listening meetings. We will hold those in every community in the district so that everyone across the district has an opportunity to share their ideas, their thoughts, or priorities directly that affect their community, that they want to prioritize the most. We value everyone's voice, and we hope to have communities join us to help shape the future of our schools as we move through this difficult time. We had our first listening meeting in Chester on Monday evening. Tonight we will have our Greenville community listening meeting at 6 following our board meeting. Next week we'll be in Quincy on November 17th at 5:30 at the Quincy High School cafeteria. And then we will be in Portola at the Portola High School Library on November 19th at 5:30 to 6:30. So we are looking forward to those meetings. It's always great to meet a lot of our people in our district and hear their values and concerns and share their ideas. And then just as a reminder, this is a board meeting held in public. Public comment is your opportunity to share your views on agenda items. Under the Brown Act, board members may not engage in dialogue with the public during this time. If you ask a question, we cannot respond during public comment. The board, or Mr. Duvarney, may address your question during board discussion if they choose. If your question is not answered, please email your question after the meeting so we can provide a full response. Also, feel free to reach out to our office when the agenda is posted to get clarification before the meeting. Remember to check our website for information about the process that we are in with FCMAT. Please take time to read emails and or parent squares that are sent out. And they are also filled with information and updates as we move through this process. And please always feel free to reach out to either Mr. Duvarney or myself.
Thank you. Next item is PUSD stipulated expulsion case 252601. Unfortunately, we need to go into closed session, but I anticipate it'll be pretty brief. So instead of displacing you, Andrea and I will go into closed session and then come back. So shouldn't take long. So at this time, we will go into closed session and we'll be back shortly. All right. Sorry for the brief break. So we are now back into open session, and I have reviewed and approved the stipulated expulsion case 252601. And next agenda item will be a presentation. So our principal recognition award, Nikki Rodriguez, come on up, and we have a very special presentation.
Thank you. We are honored tonight to recognize one of our 6th grade students. Ms. Van Acker, will you please join me? And I would like to invite the family to come up here as well. So Matt and Shauna and Sean McCutcheon and Chelsea and Jim DeCaniva. Yep.
That's what you look like up there, so stand accordingly.
Back up.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Good evening, board members. I would like to share with you why I feel Sean McCutcheon deserves this recognition. Sean is an outstanding 6th grade student who consistently demonstrates what it means to be respectful, responsible, and hardworking. He treats his classmates and teachers with kindness, listens attentively, and always contributes to classroom discussions. Sean takes responsibility for his learning by staying organized, completing assignments on time, and asking thoughtful questions that help deepen his understanding. His strong work ethic is evident in the care he puts into every task. He always strives to do best and encourages others to do the same. We are proud to recognize Sean for implementing our core values every day. His positive attitude and dedication make him a wonderful example for others and a valued member of our school community. In addition, Sean is our ASB president. He leads our Monday morning announcements with confidence, clarity, and a strong student presence. His ability to represent his peers with poise reflects his natural leadership. Beyond the classroom, Sean remains actively involved in the community through seasonal sports as well as 4-H, demonstrating his commitment to learning, service, and personal growth. His dedication and well-rounded involvement make him a standout representative of our school. Vidal Sassoon once said, "The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary." Thank you, Sean McCutcheon, for being an upstanding citizen and a shining example for Greenville Elementary School.
Thank you.
And congratulations, Sean, well done. And congratulations to all that support him. We appreciate that.
I was gonna say, do you want me to get pictures
Yeah.
of it?
Jessica
I
will
want
be
you to come over here so you have more.
Shake hands.
Yeah, we would like to. Congratulations. Good job. Very cool.
Congratulations, Sean.
Found in the back. Can we? The lost and found is in the back from the meeting.
You can do it right here.
Someone might see
lost and found, that's true.
We might see something.
Do you guys wanna get in there? Okay. Sometimes the principals are in there. Okay, 1, 2.
Good job. There you go.
Congratulations. All right, thank you very much. Yeah, great to highlight special students that are working hard, so very much appreciated. At this time, we'll be on item number 11, public input, and we have 2. The first one is Stuart Clark, PCTA statement. So Stuart, come on up.
Thank you. Where am I? Close enough. Good evening, Stu Clark for PCTA. It's a hard act to follow, but it's why we're here. Schools and districts build people in partnership with families.
kind of wild. One kid got an award. There were 11 people involved in that. The last few years, it felt like everybody's floating in their own little boat. Some boats have been colliding, and it's worked very, very poorly. We know that. But we just got a testament. It still works. But to make this work, we have to work together way better. A couple of examples. There was a recent Williams Act violation in which students who required Adobe to do their classes did not have it because of an error. Nothing bad. Nobody did something evil. Somebody simply made an error. But that denied our students full access to their curriculum. We rely on you guys to do your jobs. And you do. Thank you. Errors are getting fixed, but they're still occurring. Simple ones. It needs to stop. Our patience is done. I'm getting calls, and I'm only one of our executive committee, and I'm getting calls 3 to 4 times a week about something regarding mostly pay and or benefits that isn't right. We call you and it gets done. It gets fixed. Every time. Thank you. That's got to be a pain for you. And it climbs up and down and sideways on that ladder. And it's a pain for all of you guys. I see how people look at Alicia or I when we walk in the building. There's a smile and a wince. We don't want that. I swear to God, we want to be partners in this. We have ideas. We do bring them to the table. Please make sure that they get a hearing. And please, as fast as possible, we got to get the money thing, as it affects our members, right consistently. And
Thank you.
that was less than previous.
Next public comment, Area 5 Representative Gary McNett.
Actually, it's Guy McNett. Can you tell us when that individual will be seated on the board, our newly elected representative for Area 5?
Yeah, so that will be December, right? In our December board meeting.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
yeah, 3rd week, December, yeah. That's it? All right. Okay, thank you very much. And then our next item, 12, is the Plymouth Charter School renewal petition. This is a public hearing, so it's not an action item. And so I'd like to welcome Talitha Washburn, and she will give a presentation on the charter renewal. And we open public hearing. Is that? Okay, all right, there we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Talitha Washburn. I'm the Executive Director of Plymouth Charter. I have been with Plymouth Charter for a little over 20 years and in my director role for 13. So definitely been around the block with a variety of administrators and natural disasters and plagues and all the things. So lots of experience in my role since I've been there. And Ryan, go ahead and introduce yourself since we're waiting for
Yes,
this
we're
one.
ready for the technology. I'm Ryan Schermel, I'm the site director here at Indian Valley Academy. We're a 7-12 program for those of you that don't know us. I've been with Plymouth Charter School for about 10 years now. Started as a teacher over in Quincy and then grew into my role over here in Indian Valley. Still waiting. I've been here for the plague, the natural disasters as well. And I was raised here in Indian Valley. Graduated from Greenville High School in '99, went on to St. Mary's, then commissioning in the United States Marine Corps for my whole life. Didn't, Matt left, that's good, we weren't trying to twinsy on purpose. Yeah, good.
Fill the time.
Going down a rabbit hole. So as charter schools are California public schools, and we are not a school of the district, but we do have a relationship with the district, and that is that they authorize us every 5 years. This last stint was 7 years because of COVID. There was a statewide extension. So we have had 7 years, but our current charter petition is expiring 6/30/26. So it is our job to present to you our performance data over the last several years and also some, nuances of our program so that your new administrator can decide in the next 3 months whether or not we are approved for another 5-year term. And I could just wing it. Okay. Okay, so, So one of the a couple of exciting pieces over the last 5 years for our charter is that we did build a school in Quincy. So with the help of the USDA Rural Development Grant Program, we successfully built a 14,000 square foot facility for grades TK through 12. And that we are in our 3rd year of operation on that campus. If you live in Quincy or drive by, you will have seen that in East Quincy. And then this is our 2nd year located on the Greenville High or Old Greenville High campus with our Indian Valley Academy program. Now I can start the presentation. Okay. Do I get a clicker? I can use the space bar. So Plymouth Charter is one of the oldest in the state of California. We are number 146. There's now over 1,000. So Plymouth Charter was founded in 1998. I think that's important. We did, Little Plymouth County had one of the first charters in the state of California that kind of began with the charter movement. So we have a lot of history. Our mission statement, which we do reevaluate every 3 to 5 years. Our most current mission statement is that we are committed to providing our rural communities with educational options and flexibility that support students in reaching their potential. We have 4 core values of respect, compassion, integrity, and perseverance. Thank you. I call this my Mythbuster slide a little bit. We are, like I said, one of the oldest. We are a California public school. We are not a private school. We do not charge tuition or fees of any kind. We are authorized by PUSD, and we go through a renewal process every 5 years. We are fully WASC accredited, so that's the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. We have been fully accredited for over a decade for our K-12 program. And we have the same credentialing requirements as PUSD. And we've also been very successful in the last couple years of accessing grant funds to help our instructional aid staff obtain credentials. So we definitely value compliance for our credentialed teachers. We are designated as a non-classroom based school, which allows us incredible programmatic flexibility. We have 3 program options within all 3 of our sites. We offer a Learning Center program, which is our on-site program. And so in Quincy and here at IVA, that looks like Monday through Thursday, basically a typical full school day with Friday being independent study. In our Chester program, we offer a 3 half-day-a-week program because that's more conducive to the needs of that community. We offer hybrid programs. This can look any number of ways, and in particular with high school students, we see a lot of hybrid programs because students will take concurrent enrollment at Feather River College. We typically have over 30 kids a semester concurrently enrolled, which is pretty amazing. We have kids who regularly want flexibility for jobs or other family obligations, and we can create hybrid programs designed to best fit their needs. So that could look like they come on campus for core classes but do electives off-site, or they do electives on campus and do core off-site, any number of ways that can look. We also offer traditional independent study. So for our 7th through 12th grade students, that looks mostly like a computer-based program called Bright Thinker. And for our K-6 students, that is a paper-based with a little more parent involvement if they want it on curriculum choices, all of which are California content standard aligned. We do have 3 locations, Quincy, Greenville, and Chester. In Quincy, we hover right around 230 students. That's K-12. Here in Greenville, Indian Valley Academy is grades 7 through 12. We'll hover between 80 and 90 students. And in Chester, we are right about 50 students. Leadership, we have tiers of leadership similar to PUSD. We have a board of directors where we have representatives of all communities served, and we are totally Brown Act compliant. Our meetings look much like this board's. I am the executive director, and I've been here a very long time. Brittany Wade is our assistant director. She's based out of Quincy.
and Ryan Schnall is our IDA site director, Carrie Reed is our tester site coordinator, and all of my leadership have been with the charter school 10 plus years. One of the programmatic areas we're really excited about over the last probably 7 years is the development of CTE pathways. And we have several, and we access grant funds to expand upon them. The most exciting one now actually is centered here on this campus with the reopening of the Greenville High Shop. We've written 3 grants to build up a manufacturing program and product innovation and design, and hopefully by second semester we'll be up and running in the shop, and you'll be able to see our welding and it's not CAD, SolidWorks program for product design and then 3D printing of different products. So these are our variety of CTE pathways, all of which are connected to at least one industry partner and often include Feather River College or Butte College concurrent enrollment classes. And we really rely on grant funds to help us get those up and running. So that's a very exciting program component. So our budget, this is a really quick budget snapshot. The point I want everybody to see here is that we are fiscally solvent. We typically have a small operating income every year. So this is, our base revenue sources, our base expense categories. This is the projected operating income for this year, although it's not entirely accurate because this doesn't include grant-funded expenditures that are depreciated, so they don't show up the same in the balance sheet. But we have a healthy operating income, and then we also have a healthy reserve, which includes several targeted pots of money. So we have a reserve policy that outlines what our cash balance is for. We have a 25% reserve, which is our, our annual reserve requirement. And then we also have earmarked funds for different projects that we are working on, like a Quincy expansion project, like outfitting the welding shop here, the shop here, and any number of other projects that are on the docket. So we have a healthy, positive reserve with cushion to anticipate needed projects. So historical enrollment trends. This is the graph. You can see we're relatively stable. This spike here was the COVID spike. A lot of families came to us because there was a lot of disruption during that time, and we were pretty proficient at facilitating independent studies, so we had a jump there. But as you can see, relatively flat enrollment across sites, so stability. And this one's a little convoluted, but it shows you different groups of students. So the kind of key points here are that we have had an increase in the number of socioeconomically disadvantaged students. We have a very low proportion of English language learners, and our proportion of special ed students has increased drastically over the last few years. And this is just a larger graphic of the two areas, our SPED population. We're at almost 20% SPED across 3 sites. And then this is our socioeconomically disadvantaged. We hover right about that 55 to 60%. I'm not going to read this whole thing. So the state establishes renewal criteria for charter schools. We are considered what is a middle tier school, which means that all of our student achievement data is on point, and we are eligible for renewal unless there's some huge problem with our leadership or our fiscal solvency, which there is not. So we qualify for middle tier renewal.
So I get to go through the data, please hold on to that. So these are our colors per the California school dashboard. Their performance indicators, and what she meant by tier 2 is we do okay in these areas, but we're not necessarily hitting it out of the park. But again, the big question is how do we perform relative to the state, and how do we perform relative to Plymouth Unified School District? And so you can see here we do hold our own. This was from 2023. If we can go to the next slide, that'll be our 2024 data. 2025 is still getting ready to be released, but as you can see, we're green in ELA, blue down to chronic absenteeism suspension rate, and this was just kind of not a drastic improvement necessarily, because we kind of traded. We improved in one area but declined in another. But again, the question is, are we comparable to our partners at the district and in the state? And you can see we generally are. And these are just kind of broad data points as well. We're going to get into some more specifics here in a moment. Go ahead. So these are those same performance colors, but now broken down into subgroups, such as socioeconomically disadvantaged, students with disabilities, white and Hispanic. So out of the 12 colors that we get graded against, 50% were green or blue. That means 50% at or above standard. That's compared to, and this was just in 2023, 0 Plymouth Unified, and 8% green or blue for the state of California. 2024, the number of colors that we can be assessed against increases to 18, and we remain consistent. We're 50% green or blue, so again, 50% met or exceeded standards, and that's compared to 6% green or blue for Plymouth Unified and 8% green or blue for California. Now we get into, this is still academic comparison. English Language Arts, or ELA. Over here you can see we actually saw pretty good improvement from 2023 to 2024, moving to green for all students, specifically in the area of white. And then for math, not a huge gain here. And while our 2025 data is still waiting to come out, we did improve significantly in math last year.
We have it.
Oh, we do have it. Oh, next slide.
Not dashboard colors, but we have testing data.
We do have the testing. It's going to show up, not the dashboard colors, because that hasn't been released yet. Now, these are non-academic indicators. So by non-academic, we're talking about chronic absenteeism, so students attending school, suspension rates, and then graduation rates. Our chronic absenteeism and our suspension rates are clear areas of strength for us, where we outperform both the district and the state considerably. Okay, this one's a lot of fun. I'm just kidding. So the most important, this is distance from standard. And what you want out of this is you want to be as close to this line right here. I think this is where the laser pointer would be nice. Okay, at this line or even above this line. You do not want to be away from the line. So the further you go down from the line, think of that's the further you are underwater. Okay. So as you can see over here, this is Plymouth Charter is in yellow. The authorizer, Plymouth Unified, is this dark purplish color, and then the light blue is the state. 2025 versus 2024, this is now different from distance from standard. In this instance, you want to be high on the graph and not low. So you want to be away from the bottom line, which is down here. And this is also broken down by subgroups, with all students over here on the left, a disability reported, socioeconomically advantaged, or a minority group here. And so you can see, again, the question is, does Plymouth Charter School hold its own against other entities, namely the district and the state? And so you can see in 2025 for ELA, we're basically right on with the state at 48. And then 2024, that was a slight drop. 2024, we were actually at 50 and outperformed the state by 3 points. So we saw a slight fall in our ELA numbers by about 2 points, but we made that up in math. Next slide. This is just going back historically 2024 to 2023 data so that you can compare. And what you can see there is, again, that 2024 number 50, and that was significant growth from 2023 by about 7 points. But again, that's more for us to be concerned with. For everybody here, it's, are we holding our own versus Plymouth Unified and the state? Okay, math. So we're back to that distance from standard. So again, we all want to be level with the line, or it's always nice to be a little bit above, but we definitely don't want to be down. And so again, colors haven't changed. Plymouth Charter School in yellow, Plymouth Unified deep purple, California light blue. And we're closer to the surface than most. So that's good. 2025, so again, that data hasn't been released for 2025 yet, but this is the data that has been released that are specific. And again, going back to math, we saw a 4% increase, or a 4-point increase in math in terms of students who met or exceeded the standard. And again, that is either comparable to or in some cases outperforming our partners. Go ahead. This is just comparing 2023 to 2024 data for chronic absenteeism. So now we want to flip that. Right? Earlier we wanted to be higher for our math scores and our ELA scores. This is now chronic absenteeism. We want to be low. We want to be low here. So we are, last year, 2024, our chronic absenteeism was at about 5% versus 32.6 for Plymouth Unified and 18.6 for the state. The nice thing is, go back, everybody, it seems like, made some ground. Can you go back for a second? Yeah, everybody improved from 2023, so good job, everyone. All right, suspension rates, again, another area of historic strength for us because philosophically, we just don't suspend students. It takes a lot for us to suspend a student. We try to avoid that at all costs. So you'll see here, we've had 0 students suspended in 2023 and 2024. So our CCI comparisons, this is college and career readiness indicators, and these were areas which Talitha was talking about. One of the biggest ways to improve here is by expanding your career and technical education opportunities, which we've been working hard at, as she talked to. We do have some work to do, especially with regards to the state. However, again, we are holding our own, or at least we feel that's what the data shows here.
And other elements that go into the CCI is it's CTE, it is 11th grade academic performance on SBAC, it is concurrent enrollment in community colleges, and it is AP classes. So they have some formula where they take all those different elements in. A through G classes too, A through G classes and AP. There's all of it's in there, so it's a number of elements.
These are just graduation rate comparisons. Little fluctuation here and there, but again, consistent with most folks. Thanks. Oh, I'm doing this one too. By comparison. Okay, these next couple slides are going to show how our programs now stack up locally against their counterparts in a geographical area. So up here we've got our Plymouth Charter School Quincy 3rd through 6th grade versus Quincy Elementary School in ELA. Plymouth Charter School is the blue, Quincy Elementary is the gray, and that is from 2023 to 2024 to 2025. Moving to the right, this is now math over here on this side. So this is, again, PCS Quincy 3rd through 6th versus Quincy Elementary School math. And then when you come down, we move into middle school, high school programs, 7-12 programs down here on the bottom. So over here on the I guess the right as you're looking at it is PCS Quincy 7-11, because we don't test 12th graders in SBAC against Quincy High School. ELA, again, we are always blue. Plymouth Unified will be gray. And math over here on the right. PCS High School Quincy against Quincy High School. Okay, a little bit less to do here because we no longer have an elementary school program. A part of our partnership with Plymouth Unified School District that took place last year was for us to consolidate the programs over here in Greenville with our elementary school program joining with Greenville Elementary and then us absorbing Greenville High School. So some of this comparison data isn't necessarily as useful anymore. But you can see down here, last year for 2025, IDA was at 60% in ELA and 57% in math, which makes us the highest testing group in the district. Okay, this is up in Chester, PCS 3rd through 6. The Chester Elementary School, again, no change to the colors, remains the same. And on this left-hand side over here is ELA, or in the red lettering is ELA, over on the right is purple. So you can see pretty comparable data there. And again, this is all for SBAC. This is for the state testing. Because we're about to slide into, we'll come out of the state testing data and we're gonna go into some internal data that we just use to track students over the course of the year. So any questions on anything that I just reviewed?
Actually, I have one question. Does Indian Valley Academy offer any dual enrollment classes in Feather River College?
We don't do dual enrollment per se. What we do is we allow students to sign up for classes over there, but we don't offer any, we don't have any teachers here teaching one of their courses. We do that up in Chester with math specifically. Over here, we send our students over to the college and they get credits. It would seem like dual enrollment because they're doing the credit class, they're getting the college credits, they're getting the grade, and then we're putting that on their transcript here. But they're technically not dual enrollment students.
That's the co-enrollment program.
Correct.
You're involved with college, not dual.
Not dual enrollment, right?
Yeah.
Right, so we don't get to, and why that's like the nuance behind that is we can't count that as one of the 4 classes that they need to be in to be enrolled as a full-time student. So we have to add on to that, which is.
Okay.
Go.
I'm gonna go through this really fast. So the state allows for a local assessment piece as well. They call it verified data. We use 2 verified data sources. iReady is what we use for grades K through 6 and NWA is what we use for 7 through 12. And we'll go pretty quickly through these slides, but what you'll see in iReady and NWA data is you will see gradual increases of performance year to year, and you will see like the threshold for each grade level of what this program considers to be appropriate growth. We meet the threshold in 9.5 out of 10 cases. So, so this is just the on or above level. We want the dark green or the dark blue to get bigger. We'll just keep going. It is. These lines here are what the program considers to be growth targets. And again, the state has approved iReady as a verified data source, and the district also uses iReady, so we have some comparison there. But these are the targets we want to meet, depending on the grade levels. And you can just see here in 24-25 that 6 of our 7 grade levels met the appropriate target. So that's what we want to see. And that's expanded over the years. We've gotten better and better performance levels with each grade meeting their performance grade. So that was in reading, and so we have roughly 60% of our kids in growing at reading grade level performance per iReady. Okay, go fast. Okay, and then math, you kind of see the same thing. We see a increasing blue line that has been growing. We see these are the bars here of what we want to meet, and we see we did actually here this year had 5 of 7 grade levels, where last year we had 6 of 7 grade levels meet performance data, but that's still pretty significant. And then that just shows us too, over the last 3 years, how many grade levels have met their performance bands. So we're well within the majority of grade levels meeting their performance.
Okay, switching gears to NWEA, this is the assessment we use, or the internal diagnostic, excuse me, that we use for grades 7 through 12, because we feel like iReady is a little too juvenile for the high schoolers. The difference from iReady is that it presents its data as normative data. It compares it to, NWEA is used across the nation. It's one of the largest diagnostics used nationally. And so this actually compares our students to a national average. It also allows you to compare them to the standard as well. Similar though, the idea is to look for the blue to increase and the gray and the dark gray to decrease, which you can see over the last 3 springs. If you really want to analyze this data, you can actually start to see where you can see the effects from COVID and the Dixie fire in the data, but we won't do that. This next one is probably the best takeaway. This yellow line here, that's a growth target. Based off of when they come into the school year, their first beginning of the year diagnostic, it says at the end of the year, they should have learned this much or grown this much. If they do, they hit that yellow line. As you can see, we hit the yellow line in nearly, especially this last year, nearly all. The one anomaly is our 12th graders, because we don't do the end of the year diagnostic with them, because they're usually on like their senior trip or something like that, and they're on their way out the door. But in all of our testable ones, grades 7 through 11, you can see they are hitting, if not exceeding, their growth their growth marks per NWEA, what they say they should be growing by. This is just broken down into the specifics, math, or that was ELA, this is math, same thing, we can go, you can, yeah. We did it.
Well, thank you for your presentation and thank you for showing us the data. I'm a big believer in owning our data regardless if it's good or bad. So we appreciate seeing that and we appreciate the relationship that we have with you guys. So going forward, we will come back again and revisit this and do what we need to do. So we appreciate that. And this is public hearing. Is that, so we'll open public hearing. Are there any comments or thoughts or?
I have a
Yes.
comment. So I'm impressed with, the charter school performance and they're doing really well. So why, what can you do to help our teachers in our schools achieve the same, scores, and what can you do to help our classrooms, the public schools?
That's a great question. Actually, a lot of that work started before I got here, since this is my 5th week, so I'm not gonna take credit. But that has started with our MTSS, and Melissa Leal has a group of teachers and folks from each one of the sites that are involved in our multi-tiered system of support, and also getting back to our PLCs within our campuses and through PBIS. And so those efforts, I believe we'll look at our data in the next couple of years and we're gonna see growth, and hopefully it's significant growth, but I'm not sure about that. But I think we're gonna see some decent growth district-wide over the next few years. So I believe the plan is in place, but it's just starting to get implemented. So, great question, thank you. Anyone else?
Can I add on to that? I just feel like if we had some accountability with SARB as far as holding people accountable if they don't send their kids to school, that could be part of that and show on that data as well. But, when there's kids that miss like a third or more of the school year, that's not gonna show up so pretty on those tests and nothing happens. You get visits, like we do for you, but nothing happens. I don't know how you can influence the DA to, crack down on that or what, but I feel like that would make a huge difference.
Well, I come from a county that looked at it very differently.
Yeah.
And so we arrested parents and put them on the front page of the paper, and that's philosophically, depends on what you think about that. So, but that's really building that relationship with DA's office and getting, if there's even a middle ground there, to keep the parents accountable for sending their kids to school. I know that our SARB program and our attendance folks are working hard on. Do you have any updates on that?
They actually took the summer to work with the DA to revamp that program, because there was a lot of miscommunication of how things looked from people that previously ran it. So they're rebuilding that trust and working with the DA to have them more involved.
Will we get any news onto what that looks like?
Right now, it looks like what you've been seeing,
Okay.
but we're continuing that work and working closely with probation as well. We are trying to improve that system.
Yeah, if they're not here, we're not gonna see a whole lot of student achievement data improve, so. Yes?
Another one. Not as a board member, as a
Okay.
parent. It's similar to what I was asking before. I think a lot of our teachers need, and not just our teachers, but our office staff and things like that, we need a little extra help because, we're missing a lot of people that we had. And it makes it difficult for the teachers to teach properly if the parents aren't following through, if the district's not following through, we're missing, you know, if we have to pull the principal to watch the kids at recess or, and you saw that the first day you came here, the principal was having to watch the kids at recess because we're missing one person that called in sick. So, and I don't know if in the near future, or what is your vision for Greenville, knowing, you know, the history of it and what we're all dealing with, you know, from the fire, COVID. What is your outlook for our school? And
That's great, that's our next meeting. Yeah, as soon as this meeting is over, we're gonna talk specifically about Greenville, about plans, about all the needs from Greenville. We had the Chester meeting on Monday and got input from Chester folks, and so tonight is the Greenville meeting to talk exactly about those things right there. So, thank you.
thanks.
Okay, we will close public hearing. All right, and then we'll get to that meeting here fairly soon.
Remember that question.
13 is our schedule of our regular PUSD board meetings. And this is an action item. I know that the county board went over this earlier and approved that, and they go together, the county board meetings and the PUSD meetings. And so any comments on the schedule? Okay, after review, as county administrator, I approve the schedule for the regular PUSD board meetings. And now we'll go with staff reports. The PUSD personnel transactions, and Jennifer.
Recommendation is to approve the HR agenda as presented. Recommendation for authorization for hiring under a short-term staff permit for 25-26 as presented.
Okay. And so this is an action item. Before we take action, is there any public comment on this item? All right. So after review, I approve the hiring of staff in this manner. So approved. Student achievement, Melissa Leal would generally do this report, but we've put this on Stephanie's shadow. So Stephanie.
Yes, so our 25-26 LCAP is required to be adopted when we adopt our budget. So we work directly with CDE. We're not required when we make changes to get it readopted, but for transparency, we really wanted to bring it back to the board and have it publicly adopted again due to adding 2 additional goals separated out per CDE's requirements. The new additional goal is goal 7, which is about our equity multiplier, which is a breakout grant that happens from having a very high percentage of high need students. And so that additional goal is to address those funds and how they'll be spent. We also are required to make a goal for Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant that got reduced historically back in 22-23, and now it got given back to us, the 14%. So now with these additional funds and our remaining funds, we have to include them in the 25-26 LCAP. So it breaks down that we're going to be using this money to do our next round of math adoption curriculum.
Thank you.
And this is information only.
Yeah, just information. Any thoughts or comments? All right, and then we'll get to the fiscal part, cash flow report.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned, we just try to keep these on the agenda as we are working through our cash insolvency. So we were able to get that $8.5 million drawdown from the state. So we are currently projecting to remain cash solvent through the 25-26 school year. But again, in the 26-27, right around that October time before our first tax apportionment, we do go cash negative again, and a similar deficit of approximately $8 million. So the effects of after this meeting, the next meeting, when we talk about how we have to make structural changes.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about the big finance picture just right after this meeting. It's not pretty, just to warn you, but we'll work through that. And then lastly, Stephanie, facilities.
Yes, I recommend the approval of the resolution 1693, which is the intention to create an easement with PG&E for the Greenville 559 Main and 205 Grand Street. We have to make a resolution to then hold a public hearing to then adopt a resolution to make this occur. So the recommendation is to approve the declaration of the intent to declare public unity easements.
Any thoughts on that easement? All right, is that actually an action item?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is.
The call's a roll call.
Oh, roll call, okay.
Richard Devine?
Yes. All right. And then lastly, we have our consent agenda items, and that's the meeting from 10:15, the PUSD regular meeting, minutes, and B, check register for the month of October, the PUSD service contracts, donations, and field trips. And so that is the consent agenda items, and so approved. All right, anything else? All right, okay, well, if there's nothing else, any other comments before we go to our next meeting? All right, meeting. We'll get